Sometimes, a man seems to have everything under control, but time proves that even the most powerful cannot hide their darkest secrets forever. This is the story of Richard Halloren and his powerful family. A tale of wealth, reputation, and deadly secrets that still leaves people speechless. Richard Halloren was one of the most respected attorneys in South Carolina. In the courtroom, his voice silenced everyone. His speeches swayed juries, and his reputation made him nearly untouchable. He never lost a case, but years later, Richard would face his greatest trial. Not inside a courtroom, but within the walls of his own home. It all began with a strange tragedy. Richard's son, Daniel, went out one night driving with friends. By morning, his car was found submerged in a river, with Daniel's lifeless body inside. Police quickly ruled it a tragic accident. But later, investigators discovered something chilling. The car's brake lines had been deliberately cut. Rich's wife, Margaret, grew suspicious. She began searching through financial records and uncovered unusual transfers. Large sums of money had been moved into secret offshore accounts. Margaret considered going to the police, but just weeks later, she was found dead in her kitchen, murdered in cold blood. There were no signs of forced entry. Only one strange clue remained. A torn piece of paper on the counter, with Richard's handwriting that read, "Everything will be taken care of." Detective Michael Grant took over the case. From the start, he knew this wasn't a simple family tragedy. Each death appeared calculated, part of a much larger plan. But Richard was powerful, with influence over police, judges, even parts of the media. Michael dug deeper. He discovered ties between Richard and his business partner, Jonathan. Jonathan had tried to leak incriminating documents to a journalist, but before he could, Jonathan was found dead in his car. The documents were burned, except for one charred page that survived, bearing Richard's signature. Every trail pointed back to Richard, but then came a shocking twist. A new witness emerged, Elisa, the Halloren family's longtime housekeeper. She confessed that on many nights, she overheard Richard's secret phone calls. On the other end was a mysterious man demanding money. "If you don't pay," the voice threatened, "your family will disappear, one by one." Suddenly, the case shifted. Was Richard the criminal, or was he a victim trapped in someone else's game? The trial began, and new testimony came forward. A neighbor swore he heard a gunshot the night Margaret died, but before taking the stand, he suddenly withdrew after allegedly being offered a large sum of money by unknown figures. Meanwhile, Michael uncovered a hidden audio recording. In it, Richard's voice could be heard arguing with the same mysterious man. The chilling line echoed, "If you don't pay, they'll all be gone." And then came the final, devastating discovery. Police cracked open Richard's hidden safe. Inside were stacks of cash, multiple passports, unregistered firearms, and worst of all, a family photo album. But these weren't normal pictures. Faces of Richard's wife, son, and relatives were marked with red ink, as if chosen, one by one. In court, the evidence was damning. Richard Halloren was convicted of multiple murders, money laundering, and fraud. The courtroom erupted as the verdict was read, but Richard remained calm, repeating the same haunting words. "You still don't understand. The real killer is still out there." To this day, no one knows if Richard was the true mastermind, or if he was simply another pawn in a much bigger, darker game. And this reminds us of one chilling truth. In the world of crime, nothing is ever what it seems. Sometimes, the greatest criminal may also be the greatest victim. This was just the beginning. The most mysterious and shocking crime stories are still ahead. Subscribe to Crime Flow Narratives and be among the first to uncover what comes next.